Ko te ora, Flavel.
Mr. Speaker, kia ora tātou e te whare. I tēnei pō. Mr. Speaker, I'm pleased to stand and take a call on this agricultural legislation amendment bill and say that I'm pleased to say that the Māori Party is supporting it, and I'm thrilled to be able to talk about this bill simply because today has been rather negative by some people who have not appreciated the Māori Party view on some bills, but tonight I can say we're right behind this bill 100%. We support this bill, which is to update the Aquaculture Legislation Amendment Bill and therefore to smooth the pathway to settlement of Māori commercial aquaculture claims. We support also the opportunity this bill will provide to allow trial farming of high-value finfish in the Coromandel Marine Farming Zone. Mr. Speaker, other speakers have spoken about it, but just to make sure that it's on record for those who are listening in, the Aquaculture Legislation Amendment Bill aims to simplify the allocation of new space for aquacultural activities by removing the need to set up aquaculture management areas. The bill does this by making amendments to a number of acts: the Aquaculture Reform, Repeals and Transition Provisions Act 2004, the Fisheries Act 1996, Māori Commercial Aquaculture Claims Settlement Act 2004, the Resource Management Act 1991. This is what it does, but I want to say, put on record our congratulations to Minister Healy from Whangarei, to the Minister for his honourable way, in which he is, this legislation has been developed. The Māori Party has been actively engaged with the Minister on this bill, and we have been proud of the way in which the iwi leaders have also been actively engaged in the process of the drafting. The iwi leaders' advisors worked with Ministry of Fish officials in the drafting of the two amendments, and we believe that the legislation is much better because of their input. The amendment drafted in consultation with aquaculture iwi leaders offers iwi and the Crown more flexibility in negotiating settlements under the Māori Commercial Aquaculture Claims Settlement Act 2004. Mr. Speaker, the First Amendment focused on treaty settlements and confirms forecasting, gazetting and consenting of regional aquacultural space for iwi, the 20% of the total of aquaculture space. The Second Amendment was focused around undue adverse effects tests. What was proposed then during the committee of the whole House was that if there is an impact on customary/recreation space, then aquaculture space cannot proceed. With commercial space, the threshold for support from fisheries permit holders drops from 100% to 75%. Mr. Speaker, the Second Amendment is basically very technical in nature. It changes the test and facilitates agreements between aquacultural applicants and fishing quota owners. When 70% of the fishing quota owners who are impacted upon by aquaculture agree to a proposed aquacultural agreement, then the applicant can apply to the High Court to have the remaining quota owners bound as well. It concerns basically planning and consenting. Finally, Mr. Speaker, there is a proposed binding arbitration process for mediation. The bill requires negotiation and agreement of what might be seen as forced arbitration. The iwi leaders are comfortable with this threshold change and arbitration mechanisms. Mr. Speaker, I cannot underestimate the importance of aquaculture to our whānau. The Māori Party supports any opportunities and incentives for whānau, hapua and iwi to enjoy genuine progress from their connections with their maunga, the awa, moana, marae, tupuna and atua. We believe that aquaculture has great potential to boost wealth and jobs, especially in the regions. We believe that this bill will help Māori contribute more to the growth of an industry with huge economic potential to benefit all of Aotearoa. Mr. Speaker, iwi already control around 40% of fisheries, but further progress in agriculture has been hampered by the 2004 Act, creating an unworkable solution to settle Māori claims. The legislation we're debating tonight is arguably a work in progress, especially in consideration of the changes aimed at simplifying the process around new space for agricultural activities allocation, as well as taking into account the interim measure put in place to allow for the continuation of the 20% allocation mechanism for Māori interests in aquaculture. The commitment shown in regard to future consultation with iwi leaders around these issues has been really encouraging. Because of their work, the amendment allows iwi and the Crown to negotiate regional settlements of commercial aquacultural claims, which might involve 20% of any new space, cash or other agreed terms. Iwi can, in effect, negotiate a package that suits their specific and unique circumstances. Mr. Speaker, we understand that new space will be reserved for settlements for 3 years. We accept this as important to allow negotiations to proceed, but the time limit will stop discussions from getting bogged down. Regional settlements are to deliver space to iwi in more useful blocks rather than as 20% scattered among each allocation that is made. And I want to draw attention to the comments that were made by Te Hukai Moana and their submission to the Primary Production Committee on this bill. Their submission says, and I quote, "Having a positive and sustainable aquaculture sector will not come from getting the legislation correct. It will also need to be implemented well. Te Hukai Moana welcomes that the government has indicated that it will take a more active and coordinated role. This must happen and it must be sustained. One aspect where this is crucial will be in working with iwi in regions to reach and promptly implement agreements on their aquaculture settlements. For iwi to receive value from the settlement, this work will need to be anticipatory." End of quote. Mr. Speaker, another part of the bill I want to refer to is the provisions which will allow a marine farming zone to be created in the Hauraki Gulf by amending the Waikato Regional Coastal Plan. The zone is suitable for trial raising of hapuku or kingfish in sea cages. These high-value species would boost the industry. And again, iwi will get 20% of the new zone. Finally, Mr. Speaker, we will be supporting the passing of the bill, as I said earlier. While we will be doing that, there is an outstanding issue of development opportunities that we believe should be promoted for iwi, hapu and whānau. We would like to promote the development of innovative iwi aquacultural enterprises, including those in the marine environment, freshwater or on land, and in particular to assist iwi to do two things. One, maximise the value of assets received under the Māori Commercial Aquacultural Claims Settlement Act 2004, and secondly, to contribute substantially to the realisation of the aquaculture industry goal of achieving average turnover of $1 billion by 2025. The Māori Party has taken this issue up with the Minister, and we would hope that the Government could see fit to invest in projects aimed at delivering significant and sustainable economic value to iwi and New Zealand across the whole aquaculture value chain. There is an enormous amount of potential that we could be looking to support, including education and skills development, research and development, product development, commercialisation, commercial development and technology transfer. Within that, if we were to give priority to any projects, they would be the ones which firstly contribute to innovation in the aquaculture sector, secondly to build iwi Māori capacity to participate successfully in all aspects of the sector, and thirdly to encourage collaboration between iwi and third-party partners of their choice. Mr. Speaker, we see the need for investment in iwi development within the aquaculture sector as really crucial to the future success of the industry, and we will be taking up every opportunity to discuss these issues further down the line with either the Takutai Trust of Te Hukai Moana or the Aquaculture Unit of the Ministry of Fisheries as providing a platform for advancing sustainable development. So with those comments, Mr. Speaker, Māori Party does support this bill at third reading.
The question is that the motion be agreed to. Those of that opinion will say aye. Aye. To the contrary, no. The ayes have it. So, party votes called for. I'll ask the clerk for party vote.
New Zealand National.
57 votes in favour.
New Zealand Labour.
23 votes in favour.
Green Party.
9 votes opposed.
Act New Zealand.
2 votes in favour, 3 votes opposed.
Māori Party.
Toko toru e tautoko anu.
Progressive.
1 vote in favour.
United Future.
1 vote in favour.
Mana. Honourable Chris Carter.
1 vote opposed.
Any other votes?
Members, the ayes are 87, the noes are 13. The motion is agreed to.
Aquaculture Reform, Repeals and Transitional Provisions Amendment Bill, third reading. Fisheries Amendment Bill number 2, third reading. Māori Commercial Aquaculture Claims Settlement Amendment Bill, third reading. Resource Management Amendment Bill number 2, third reading.
Call on Government Order of the Day number 9.